not drinking at the bar. They're just making their way down here. So we're trying to find some seats for them. So I just wanted to let you know it's going to be another 5, maybe 10 minutes until we get them seated, and then we will start the show. Okay? Thank you. Music, Charles! Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start. Can I have the cast up stage? Careful, this man is dangerous. We know. You shouldn't touch it. You don't know what's in that suitcase. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this evening. Thank you so much for waiting 15 minutes until we got everybody seated. It's really wonderful that you're here. My name is David Bermody. I am the director, producer of this show, and I'm actually acting in this show tonight for the first time. Aren't they smart? This is exactly what I wanted to show you. Light that sign up again. That's the applause. I can't make anything, but I made that sign. So that sign will tell you when it's time to put your hands together, right? This is a live radio broadcast. We have microphones from the 1950s. We want to hear what you're feeling, okay? So that's why we set it up. Now, I don't have a sign that says laugh. I don't have a sign that says cry, or a sign that says, oh, that was really cute what they just did right there. No, I don't have those signs. But again, if you're feeling it, just let it out, because we want to hear it. We want it to be picked up on the microphones. Oh, Charlie, you said like, what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Right.
5 minutes.
But you said that about 5 minutes ago.
That's right.
Yeah, Charlie, what do we have?
Still 5.
5 what?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live in 5, 4, 2. Das Theater am Olgeeck presents Hollywood. The New English American Theater brings you the latest installment in their classic radio theater series, an uplifting Christmas story, and one of the most beloved American films of all time. Performed for you by the very best talent that Stuttgart has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is WSTR, the station for classic radio theater in Stuttgart, and your host, Mr. Barney Akanjanuri.
WSTR, ladies and gentlemen, the station of the stars. They are positively shining tonight as we bring you one of the season's most inspiring hits, a Liberty Films production that was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture at the 19th Academy Award show in 1947. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Cast of stars, many of whom you no doubt know from previous NVEEx productions. Mr. Jörg Vitch. You may remember as the Lone Ranger from the recent NVEEx production of the same name is playing George Bailey, another iconic American hero from yesteryear. Mr. Vitch is among the most versatile performers you will ever find, seen most recently in NVEEx productions of The Fall of the House of Usher, Love's Been Good to Me, The Poetry of Rod McCune, and The Awful German Language, to name just a few. No stranger to the radio business, Mr. Vitch is an on-air personality at SWR1, the station that broadcasts the biggest hits, from mainstream pop and rock music to Baden-Württemberg. Center's several big-name musicals, including Disaster and Mamma Mia. But this lovely lady has dramatic range as well. Last year, Miss Hertz won the prestigious Army Europe Tournament of Plays nomination for Best Supporting Actress in Agatha Christie's thriller, Witness for the Prosecution. Both Mr. Rich and Miss Hertz are ably supported by the vocal talents of David Bermody, Robin Anderson, David Hennessy, Helen Karami, and myself, Bardia Kajinori. As well, of course, as the musical talents of Florian Eisentraub on piano! It's a Wonderful Life is the drama of a typical American. It might be you. It might be me. He dreams of glory. He lives in hope. He loves and doubts. And only Providence puts a final value on his service to humanity. Our story starts before the war, when life was normal. Shortages were generally unknown, and simple luxuries like Kellogg's Rice Krispies were abundant. This is the story of George Bailey, citizen of Bedford Falls, New York. George Bailey, who, more than anything under the sun, wanted to see the world. The wonderful, exciting world that lay somewhere beyond the limits of his hometown. Oddly enough, this story doesn't begin in Bedford Falls. In fact, it doesn't begin anywhere in the world. It begins in heaven, where the superintendent of angels has just summoned an apprentice angel named Clarence.
Oh, I'm really going down to Earth, sir. How splendid.
Yes? There's a very discouraged man down there, Clarence. George Bailey. At exactly 10:45 p.m. Earth time, he'll be thinking seriously of ending his life.
Oh, dear, dear, his life.
Now, I want you to stop him if you can. Now, sit down. Sit down. I'll give you Bailey's case history.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, may I perhaps get my wings? I've been waiting over 200 years now, and he's beginning to talk.
Clarence, what's the book?
Oh, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job on George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Thank you, sir.
Now listen. When George Bailey was a boy, two events occurred that you should keep in mind. One was when his young brother Harry fell through the ice and almost drowned. George saved him.
Brother fell through the ice. George saved him.
Ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water. You understand.
Bad ear. Yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later. George used to work after school in Mr. Gower's drugstore. One day, Mr. Gower's only son died of influenza. It was a terrible blow, and poor Mr. Gower tried to lose his grief in whiskey.
Where have you been, George? Don't you know the Blaine girl's very sick?
Well, Mr. Gower, here it is.
Well, you're good for nothing. Don't you know the Blaine girl's very sick?
Mr. Gower, my ear! You're hurting my sore ear!
Yeah, teach you to loaf, you lazy brat.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules.
Shut up!
I know you feel bad, but look, Mr. Gower, look! This bottle you use, this bottle to make up the capsules, it's poison!
Poison?
Don't hurt my sore ear again, Mr. Gower.
Oh, poison? Oh, George, George.
It's why I didn't deliver, Mr. Gower. All I wanted was to make sure.
Oh, George, George.
Well, Clarence, that was George Bailey as a boy. When he grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So, he worked 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. George's father was in the building and loan business. He and George's Uncle Billy. High ideals and low bank account. Anyway, George worked for his father and saved enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. Got a job on a cattle boat. Do a little traveling before college. Old man Gower surprised him with a gift of a great big suitcase. And on his way home from the store, he ran into his friends, Ernie, the cab driver, and Bert, the cop.
Hi, Ernie.
Hiya, George.
Hi, George.
Hey, George. What's the suitcase for?
I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style?
Sure, Your Highness. Hop in the cab, and for the carriage trade, I puts on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got there.
Oh, this old thing? Why, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. See you later.
How would you like to,
Yes.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No thanks. Think I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
Family man.
George saved up money to go away to college. His bags were packed, and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's hard to realize it's my last night at the Bailey boarding house.
Well, we're sure gonna miss you, George.
I'm gonna miss you too, Pop. Hey, what's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
I thought when you put him on the board of directors he'd ease up.
Yeah, so did I.
Just can't understand a man like Mr. Potter. He can't begin to spend all the money he has.
I guess Potter owns about everything he wants in Bedford Falls, except the building and loan. That's why he hates us.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
Yeah, help yourself, Harry.
Well, where are they? In your suitcase?
No, I'm not taking a tuxedo in a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get that suitcase anyway?
Oh, Mr. Gower, going away present. And one of these days, you're gonna see that bag all covered with travel labels. Italy and Baghdad and Samarkand and...
Gonna have a pretty full summer, eh?
I'm gonna have a pretty full life.
Hey, why don't you come to the dance tonight?
What? And be bored to death?
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Oh, hey, I gotta hurry.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
We got that all figured out now, Pop. He'll take over my job at the building and loan work 4 years like I did, then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
Maybe you were born older, George. George, when you get out of college, I don't suppose you'd come back to the building and loan?
Oh, no, Pop, I just couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up the rest of my life in a shabby little office. Sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that. But it's just this business of nickels and dimes. I might go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
But in a small way, we are doing something important, George. In that shabby little office, we help people figure out how they can buy homes of their own.
I know, Pop. I just wish I felt that. And I just feel like if I didn't get away, I'd lost.
You're right, boy. You go get yourself an education and get out of here.
Pop, you want a shock? I think you're a pretty great guy.
Well, thanks, George. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, look, why don't you go over to Harry's dance? You'll have a good time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will drop in. Yeah, maybe I will at that.
So George Bailey went to a dance. Is that important, Joseph?
Why, it was at the dance he met Mary Hatch.
Ah, oh.
And 3 hours later, he was walking her home. George and Mary were feeling pretty good, Clarence. As a matter of fact, wonderful.
Girls, can't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Hot dog!
Beautiful.
Yeah, just like an organ.
At least.
Gee whiz, hey, you know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will. Hey, how old are you anyway?
18.
18.
Too young or too old?
No, that's just right. Sort of fits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, George, please. I love that old house.
Well, don't you know about these deserted houses? You make a wish and then throw a rock.
Oh, George, it's such a lovely old place. I wish I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now watch this. Here we go. Ha! See? How about pretty good job. Broke a window, huh? I don't know. Not just one wish. A whole hatful of them, Mary. I'm shaking the dust off this crummy little town off my feet and I'm gonna see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm gonna build things. I'm gonna build airfields and skyscrapers 100 stories high and bridges a mile long, and then I'm Mary, what you want? What do you want, huh? You want the moon? All you gotta do is just say the word and...
Okay. The moon, I'll take it. Then what?
Then what? Well, you could swallow it, and it would dissolve like an aspirin, you know? And the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers, and the ends of your hair, and the... You think I'm talking too much?
Yes! Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death? How's that? Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, wait a minute, mister. You come on back here, I'll show you some kissing.
George!
Hey, Uncle Billy, look here. I'm gonna kiss Mary. What?
George, get in the car, quick! Your father's had a stroke.
What?
George, get in, hurry!
Well, George's father died that night, Clarence. So of course George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan had a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor to Mr. Bailey.
What was that you said, Mr. Potter?
I said, as long as Peter Bailey's dead, let's dissolve the building and loan. We don't need it.
Now wait a minute.
Now you wait a minute. Peter Bailey was not a businessman. Ideals without common sense can ruin a town. What do we get? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty, working class.
Now hold on, Mr. Potter.
I meant no disrespect, George, but you're...
Wait a minute here. Why my father ever started this cheap penny anti-building and loan, I'll never know. But just remember this, Mr. Potter. This rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, Mr. Potter, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book, George. I'm talking about the building and loan.
You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on. And this is galling. That's what you're talking about. Well, this town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can borrow a few dollars without crawling to you. Now, come on, Uncle Billy.
What happened, George? All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, oh boy, you should have heard George.
Yeah, they're in there voting us out of business.
Well, who cares? I can get another job. I'm only 41.
45.
You get out of here, George. You missed your boat trip. You want to miss college, too?
George! We just voted Potter down! We're still in business!
Whoopee! We're still in business! We're still in business!
But there's one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
The point? Me? But I'm going to college. Look, this is my last chance. Uncle Billy's your man.
George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise. They said so. They even...
I know George Bailey didn't go to college.
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to Harry. Harry went instead.
But what happened to that good-looking girl? You know, Mary?
Oh, George saw her now and then. Not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 years more for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. He could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields, Venezuela.
There she blows. Say, Uncle Billy, you know what the three most wonderful sounds on earth are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served, dinner is served.
No. Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistles.
Oh,
He is the professor now.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
nobody ever changed around here, you know that.
Well, I'm glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
She's home cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Wait. This is Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, I wired you I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife!
Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations! Congratulations. Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you, it's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets you and a job? Harry's cup runs over. Come on, Ruth, let's start ahead and leave the thanks for the fellas.
All right.
George, about that job, Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and, well, I won't let you down.
It's all right. It's all right, Harry.
The Baileys threw a homecoming party for Harry and Ruth, and they announced their intention to marry. Uncle Billy brought out the spirits and, well...
Oh, boy, oh boy, oh boy! I feel so good I could spit in Potter's eye. I think I will. What do you say? Well, maybe I better go home. Say, can you point me in the right direction, old Billy and old pal? Huh?
Okay, all right. You just turn this way, and it's straight down.
Straight down there.
Straight down.
My wild Irish road. I'm all right. I'm all right.
George.
Yeah, I'm out here on the porch, Mother. I just thought I'd get some air.
Well, how do you like your new sister-in-law?
She's swell.
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, and keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, where's Father? He's got a wonderful job for Harry up in Buffalo.
Buffalo? Well, that means you...
Yep.
You can...
Yep.
George, did you know Mary Hatch is back from school?
Yeah.
Nice girl, Mary. Oh, stop grunting.
Well,
Give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary.
well, Sam Wainwright.
Oh,
Sam's crazy about Mary.
well, she's not crazy about him.
Well, now, how do you know that? Did she discuss it with you? How do you...
Besides, Sam's away in New York.
Oh, and all's fair in love and war, huh?
I don't know about war, but...
Okay, Mother, I think I'll go out and find that girl and do a little passionate necking on her.
George.
Goodbye, Miss Bailey. By the way, do you want anything from the library?
Library! George, you go and see Mary. Do you hear?
Oh, hello, Mary.
George, is it you out there?
Hello, Mary.
Well, are you coming in?
I just happened to be passing by and...
Oh, I thought you were picketing. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
Oh, what?
About coming in? Your mother just phoned. She said you were coming over.
My mother just phoned. What you mean, coming? I just happened to be passing by. That's all. I didn't.
Well,
Well, all right, I'll come in for a minute. But I didn't tell anybody that I was coming here. A fellow can't go out on his own these days. When did you get back?
Tuesday.
And where did you get that dress?
Do you like it?
Well, it's all right.
Well, no point standing at the porch. Come on in.
I still can't understand. I didn't tell anybody I was coming here, you know.
Would you rather leave?
Well, no, I don't want to be rude. I'll sit down for a minute.
It's nice about your brother and Ruth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No, marriage is all right for a lot of people. It's all right for Harry and Sam Wainwright and you.
For Sam.
Mary!
It's George Bailey, Mother.
What's he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Not a thing, not a thing. And I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Just tell him to go right back home. Sam said he'd call you tonight from New York, didn't he?
I guess so. How about some music?
You know, your mother needn't. You know, I didn't come here to...
What did you come here for then?
I don't know. You're supposed to be the one with all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
I don't know why I came here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Mary! Telephone, Mary!
When you're shouting, you'd think that...
Mary!
You think what?
Mary!
All right, I get it. George, on your way out, would you mind turning off the phonograph?
I'd be very happy to. The crazy song!
Hello? Oh, Sam!
Mary! Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
How are you, Sam?
I forgot my hat.
Hee-haw!
What?
Oh, I was just talking to an old friend of yours, George Bailey.
Old Mossback George?
Old Mossback George.
Well, put him on. I'll talk to him too.
Oh, 1 second. George,
He doesn't want to speak to George.
He does so. He asked for him.
Did you call me? Because if you did, I'm in a hurry. I have to get...
Sam wants to talk to you.
Oh. Hiya, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are, trying to steal my girl.
What do you mean? Nobody trying to steal anybody's girl. Here, Mary, take the phone.
No, wait. George, I want to speak to you both. Tell Mary to get on the extension upstairs.
He says for you to get on the extension upstairs.
I can't. Mother's on the extension. We can both hear. Just put your head a little closer.
What?
There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
Well, I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that time you told me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Soybeans? Yeah, soybeans.
Well, my father's checked into it, George, see? And now he's going to put up a factory. How do you like that?
Factory, yeah.
And here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, unless you're still married to that broken down building and loan. Oh, Mary?
Huh? I'm here, Sam.
You tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime, you hear?
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone.
Here's George again, Sam. George!
No, you listen to me, Mary. I don't want any plastics, and I don't want any job, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. Do you understand that? I want to do what I want to do, and you're not gonna trick me, and you're Mary, or Mary. Mary. Darling. I love you.
So George Bailey and Mary Hatchford.
Yes, George and Mary were married. And they started off on their honeymoon in Ernie Bishop's taxi cab.
Hey, where were you two going on this here now honeymoon?
We're gonna shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotel, the oldest champagne, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Ah, so you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Now what, Ernie?
After that, who cares?
That does it. And you know, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you yet.
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look at the bank. It looks like a run.
Pull over there a minute, will you, Ernie?
George, let's not stop, please. Let's go straight to the station.
Now, wait a minute. Better see.
We'll return with the second act of It's a Wonderful Life. Meanwhile, here's Helen Harami, who you've just heard play multiple characters this evening, with some news from Detroit. And looking very smart too, might I add.
Why, thank you, Mr. Kajanori. Hi, y'all. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm just dying to let you in on a big secret. Next door, they're setting up to make a recording of our brand new star, and I'd love to introduce you before they begin. Honestly, we're all just bursting with excitement about this brilliant new performer. We think this one is not only going to win every award hands down, but it's just going to win the hearts of people all over the country. Come on now, I want you to meet a great new star. The 1953 Chevrolet. Doesn't that sound take your breath away? And wouldn't that beauty steal any show? I declare it looks a mile long. And see how low it is. And that beautiful, beautiful grill. Every detail is so perfectly designed. I just keep looking and looking at it. And I'll tell you something. You can look at it from every possible angle, and you'll still come up with the same answer. It's the best looking car in the whole world. there we go, getting carried away again. I could just keep talking about it all day.
Helen, you're on.
Okay, well, aren't you just excited about our great new star as I am? In your Chevrolet, America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. On a highway or a road along a levee. Performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy. So make a date today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
Traveling east, traveling west, wherever you go, Chevy serves its best. Southwards or north, near place so far, there's a Chevrolet dealer for your Chevrolet car.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. The Rockies way out west are calling you. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA, where fields of gold and wheat pass in the view. Where the traveling light with a load that's heavy. Performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in your Chevy.
So make a date today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
We pause now for station identification. This is WSTR, the station of the stars. We now bring you Act 2 of It's a Wonderful Life. Well, we're back in heaven again, where the superintendent of angels is reviewing the case history of a mortal named George Bailey. Clarence, the apprentice angel, is very eager to depart on his mission to the earth.
Poor George Bailey. Oh, he's certainly in desperate trouble, Joseph. I'll go to him at once.
Now you sit down, Clarence, sit down. We're nowhere near the point where George Bailey is thinking of taking his life.
We're not?
Where were we? Oh, yes. George and Mary had just started out on their honeymoon when they ran smack into the financial panic of 1932. In the waiting room of the building and loan, 100 frantic people were clamoring for their savings.
What's going on, Uncle Billy? What's happened? All those people out there.
Money now.
This is the pickle, George. All I know is the bank called our loan an hour ago. Had to hand over all our cash.
Holy mackerel!
Oh, town's gone crazy. Bank's in the same spot we are.
Our charter.
What about our charter?
Our charter says we have to stay open until 6 p.m. The state can take away our license if we don't.
How can we stay open till 6 without any money? George, where are you going?
How to talk to those people. Come on! Please! Folks, just a minute now, please.
How about our money, George? Where's our money?
No, come on, please. Wait a minute now. Listen to me. You're thinking of this place all wrong. Your money's not here.
What?
Wait a minute. Wait, let me tell you. Your money's in people's houses. In the Kennedy house. The McLaren house. And in your house and in 100 other houses. Now what are you going to do to them? Foreclose on them?
I got $240 in shares. Now let me have it.
All right, Charlie. You'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Well, now look, that's what you when you bought your shares.
I got my money!
Where?
Old Ben Potter's taking over the bank! He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar!
Well, then let's take our shares to Potter. Half is better than nothing.
Wait a minute, please, folks! I beg of you.
you not to do this. If Potter gets hold of your shares, he'll own this building alone. He's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got department stores, and now he's after us because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this thing all right, but we've got to stick together. We've got to have faith in each other.
My husband's out of work. We need money.
I got doctor bills to pay.
I can't feed my kids on faith.
Yeah, for crying out loud, how are we supposed to do this?
How much do we need? We still got some money.
Hey, Mary!
Here it is, George. You told me to hold on to it. But I've made a nice honeymoon. Bought furniture, too.
Hey, now, wait a minute, folks. Listen, I got $2,000. All right, Charlie? How much do you need?
$240.
Charlie, listen, just enough to tide you over.
I said $240.
Okay, Uncle Billy, give Charlie $240. All right, Ed, now, how much just to get by?
$20, I suppose.
Now you're talking. Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
Could I have $17.50?
Can you? God bless you, Mrs. Thompson. Uncle Billy, pay her $17.50. Pay it back when you can now. Pay it back when you can. All right, who's next?
Look at the clock. Look.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock! We made it! Lock that door, Tilly, quick! Boy, we're still in business, Uncle Billy. We even got $2 left.
George, there's a call for you.
Okay, and then call my wife, will you? She's probably over at Mother's.
Mrs. Bailey is on the line.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey, I want my wife, Mrs. Bailey. That's my wife. Give me the phone, please. Hey, Mary. Listen, Mary, I'm sorry, What? Couldn't come home. What home? Well, 323 Sycamore? Whose home is that? What? Well, Mary, how can I? Well, sure, all right. Sure, I'll be there.
Clarence, guess what 323 Sycamore was?
His mother-in-law's house?
Oh, no. Number 323 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one George threw rocks at and made wishes? Yes, sir. That's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started housekeeping. They were still living there 2 years later when old man Potter asked George to stop over at his office. Sit down, George. Sit down.
Well, thank you, sir.
Have a cigar?
Yeah.
Now, George, you're a young man, married, making, say, $40 a week at the building and loan.
45.
45. Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I'd say you were doing fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious. But he hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of Bedford Falls ever since he was born. But he's trapped into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George? Or do I exaggerate?
Well, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is that you're the only man in town who's lived me. George, I want to hire you. Manage my affairs. I'll start you off at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year? Are you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. Don't you remember me, the building and loan?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has enough sense to climb aboard.
Well, how about the building and loan?
Confound it, man! I'm offering I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Now, is it a deal or isn't it?
The answer's no. Doggone it, if you offered me $1 million to stay around this town and play stooge to you, the answer would still be no. Now let me alone, don't bother me.
George, what did Mr. Potter want?
Oh, it was nothing. He just talk, I don't know. It was nothing. Mary Hatch, Mary. Why in the world do you ever marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
I was going to see the world. I was going to build things. I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? What have I given you, huh? Not even a new dress, not for months. I feel awful.
So do I. Mornings especially.
You could have married Sam Wainwright, anybody else in town.
But I didn't want to marry anybody else. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. You what?
My baby.
You mean? Mary? Mary? You mean you're on the nest?
Well, Mary had her baby, Clarence. A boy.
You don't say.
Then she had another one. A girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down on him. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then.
Oh.
But she still had time to help out in USO. Uncle Billy sold war bonds. And George's brother Harry became a real hero. Shot down 15 planes.
Yeah, but George, what about George?
Well, George was 4F. His bad ear. He was an air raid warden. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to the day, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You now know almost everything you have to know about George Bailey. Except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, waiting to die.
Well?
Well, today's the day before Christmas. Earth time. George is pretty excited.
Hey, Tilly, look at the newspaper. Commander Harry Bailey decorated by the President. That's my kid brother. The Congressional Medal of Honor.
Gosh, George, gosh!
What do you think about that? 15 Jap planes. And the last one he got was just about to dive into a transport loaded with soldiers. You know what that means? He saved lives. Hundreds of lives. Gee whiz, where's Uncle Billy?
Gone to the bank, George.
Oh,
He's depositing that $8,000.
good, good. Who's that in the office there?
It's that man again, the bank examiner.
Oh, yeah. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Carter. Hey, Tilly, get the books for Mr. Carter, will ya? You know that's my brother's picture here, Mr. Carter. He shot down 15 planes, and one of them was just about...
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter. Come to the bank to deposit some more loot, huh?
Look out, you old fool.
How'd you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you?
Huh? Let me see that paper.
Here. Sorry I can't check, you old thief. Gotta make a deposit. Ah, here, Horace. Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you've forgotten something, haven't you?
Horace, I've forgotten things all my life.
Get a wheel on, boy.
Well, Mr. Bailey, where's the money?
Where'd I put it? Where'd I put that money?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Wells. I'm sure she'll be all right.
Who's that?
This is a school teacher. What? Oh, yes, the doctor says she'll be fine
Give me
tomorrow.
that phone.
Oh, George, please.
Mrs. Welch? This is Mr. Bailey. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending Suzu home like that, half naked? Do you realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia? Just because of your stupidity? You know me, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids in town, but at least... Hello? Hello? Janie! Will you stop playing that lousy piano? Now cut it out! Cut it out!
For heaven's sake, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Janie. I'm sorry, Mary. I've just got to get out of here.
So, that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in your accounts, eh?
Please, Mr. Potter, I'll pay any sort of a bonus. If you still want the building and loan,
What, you say it was lost. Have you notified the police?
No, sir. I haven't done that yet. Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
Well, why come to me? Or what about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
Yes, sir. I have some life insurance here. $15,000 policy.
What's your equity in it?
$500.
And you want $8,000. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. Well, what are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Crawling on your hands and knees for help. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much? Ask them for help.
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please. Please, help me. My wife, my kids.
I'm calling the district attorney. $500. You know something, George? You're worth more dead than you are alive. Now get out of here. Get out. And all the time, Potter had the $8,000 in his desk drawer. It's still there, Clarence.
But where is George, sir? Where?
Well, he went over to Martini's Cafe. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just standing there, sort of in a daze.
Oh, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, please show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Please show me the way.
Mr. Bailey, you all right? Don't drink any more, Mr. Bailey, please. You don't feel good.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
This gentleman is Mr. Bailey, George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? The next time you talk to my wife like that, you get worse. It ain't enough she slaves trying to teach your kids how to read and write. You gotta ball her out.
You get out of here, Mr. Welch! You hit my best friend! Get out!
All right, I'm going.
Mr. Bailey, you okay?
Who was that?
Mr. Welch. But don't worry. He don't come in this place no more! I'll get something for your face. It's a bleeding.
No, I'm all right.
Please don't go away, Mr. Bailey.
Leave me alone.
Don't go
Let
away.
me alone.
Well, George left Martini's Cafe 5 minutes ago, Clarence. He's at the river now, on the bridge, looking at the water. Are you ready, Clarence?
All ready, sir.
Very well. Save George Bailey's life, and you'll get your wings.
My wings? Oh, thank you, Joseph. George! George Bailey! Get away from that bridge, you hear? George! George!
we'll bring you Act 3 of It's a Wonderful Life. But now, a brief word from our sponsor.
Get away from it all. That's the ticket. And while you're at it, get away from those ho-hum-hum-drum breakfasts. Kellogg's Rice Krispies can give you the real vacation time zest every morning. What a picture. Start with a generous heap of those mellow, flavored golden bubbles. Highlight them with your favorite fruit. Splash in some frosty milk or cream. Then listen as Rice Krispies proclaim their crispiness. Snap, crackle, pop. Once more. Once more, you'll find they hold that famous crispness to the final mouth-watering spoonful. Yes, here is extra goodness. It's the result of a unique Kellogg flavor recipe, oven popping and gentle toasting. Get the Rice Krispies habit. Enjoy them often at home, traveling too. Leading hotels, restaurants, camps, and even trains feature Kellogg's Rice Krispies in individual packages. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just listen with what the Rice Krispies elves have to say.
Snap, what a happy sound. Snap is the happiest sound I found. You can clap, rap, tap, snap, not snap. Makes the world go round. Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies.
I say crackle, the crispy sound. You gotta have crackle when the clock's not wound. Peas, crackle, feathers, tickle, belt, bubble, beat, tickle, crack, makes the world go round.
Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. I ain't crackle, pop's the sound. The best is missing less pops around. You can't stop hopping when the cereal's popping. Pop makes the world go round. Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. Pop the sound. The best is the sound around. You can't stop hopping when the cereal's snapping. Snap, pop makes the world go round. Clap, pop, Rice Krispies.
And that's a wrap! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We have a 15-minute intermission. 15-minute. Rice Krispie treats are at the bar. Let me get the cast out here. Right there. Don't they know this is a live radio show? It was on my chair. Oh, no, this So there's some people in the bathroom. I'm wondering if I should go in the bathroom with a spell. What do you think? Yeah? Yes? You guys didn't hear that? She said I might scare the crap out of them.
Or piss him off.
You like to do there? You would love to do my part. Okay. No! No. Charlie, where are we?
5.
Charlie, you're killing me. 5 minutes?
No, 5 seconds.
Okay. We are on air in 5,
4,
4.
3.
We now return to Act 3 of It's a Wonderful Life. Numb with despair, convinced, as Mr. Potter said, that he's worth more dead than alive, George Bailey stands on a bridge, staring at the dark and frigid water below. Suddenly, there's a splash.
Help! Help! I'm drowning! Help! Help! Help!
No, that's not George. It's Clarence, the apprentice angel. And there goes George in after him. It's a few minutes later now, and in the bridgekeeper's shack, George and Clarence are drying off.
You both sure you're all right? You want a doctor?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Oh, I'm fine. This underwear. Chance to be more stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
You what, mister?
Oh, I see Tom Sawyer drying out too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry, I brought him with me.
How'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
Jumped in to save me.
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Through with what?
Suicide.
Aye, it's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yes, yes.
Well, where do you come from?
That's very funny. Very funny. Yeah? Well, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer.
Oh, no, George. I am the answer to your prayer.
Hey, how do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you.
Well, who are you supposed to be anyway?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Clarence Oddbody. What's the AS2 stand for?
Angel second class.
I'm getting out of here. You might not need a doctor, but I do.
Yeah, my good man.
Hey, you look here. Why do you want to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you look like about the angel I would get. What happened to your wings?
Well, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
Oh, don't happen to have $8,000 on you, do you?
We don't use money in heaven.
That's right, I keep forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, though. Of course, I found it out a little late. You know, I'm worth more dead than alive.
You mustn't talk like that. Joseph will never give me my wings if you keep feeling that way. You just don't realise what you've done for folks. Why, if it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody would be better off. My wife, my kids, my friends.
Oh, this is not going to be easy.
They'd all be better off if I hadn't been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful? What?
The idea you just gave me. Well, you've got your wish. You've never been born.
I've never been born.
Exactly. No worries, no $8,000 to get. Nothing. You simply don't exist.
Right, okay, all right.
George, I can do things, strange things. I can show the world, George, the way it would be if you hadn't been born.
Wait a minute, this ear of mine. Say something else in that bad ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore. I don't think you're concentrating. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're, well, you're nobody.
Darkest thing up that ear.
Your lips stop bleeding too.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening around here? What's this anyway? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? You need a drink?
Well, I don't know.
We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry, George.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. Well, look, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and then... Oh, excuse me. I'll stroll, you'll fly.
I don't have my wings.
I know, you don't have your wings yet, that's right. I forgot that again. Couple of drinks and we'll both fly, huh? Hey, where's the boss? Where's Martini?
Look, wise guy, I'm the boss, see?
Okay, well, double scotch. Quick, will ya?
What's yours?
You know what I like? I love some mulled wine. Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the clothes. Off with you, my lad, and lively now.
Now cut it out!
Come on here, just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
2 double scotches.
What about this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there's lots of things you've never seen before. Oh, good. Somebody has made it.
Made what?
Every time a bell rings, it means some angel's got its wings.
What did you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
Well, they believe in angels.
They believe in them, but you know, it's just...
Well, then why should they be surprised when they see one?
Don't mind him, bartender. He's just a little fella. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
Well, next May I'll be 293.
That does it. A couple of pixies, eh? Go on, get. Do you hear me?
Where's
Get.
Martini? Will you call it?
Stop asking about Martini. See. Didn't I tell you to never come panhandling? Hey, you rummy! Didn't I tell you to never come panhandling around here?
George, look.
It's Mr. Gower. Mr. Gower, listen, Mr. Gower, don't you know me? George Bailey.
You buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink, will you, mister?
Pinky,
Yeah, Nick,
throw the rummy out.
you got it.
Oh, no, please.
Hey, bartender, that's Mr. Gower, the druggist.
That's another thing. That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Pinky, here's 2 more. Get him out of here.
Well, get up, George. Good thing he threw us in this snowbank, huh?
Where's Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you. You see, you weren't there to stop him from putting poison into that prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? Look, tell me. Who are you? Are you a hypnotist?
Oh, George.
Look, why am I seeing all these strange things here?
Don't you understand? It's because you were not born.
Well, if I wasn't born, who am I?
Well, you're nobody. You have no identity.
Do you mean I have no identity?
No papers, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy.
Zuzu's bell.
What?
Zuzu's bell. I bought my little girl a bell to hang on the Christmas tree, and I forgot to give it to her. I've got it in... It's gone. It's gone too. Everything's gone.
But you've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world will be like if you've never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy too. Now look, I'm going home to my wife and family. Do you understand that? And I'm going home alone.
better not leave him alone, Clarence. Keep following him.
Joseph. Oh, I'll stay near him, sir. Poor George. He's seen Main Street and out of the way the minute he hadn't lived. The thing that's really shocked him, sir, is the building and loan office. You know what is there now? A pawn shop.
What's he doing now? Can you see?
He's talking to Ernie Bishop, the taxi driver. He wants to go home.
You'd better take along, Clarence.
Oh, I will, sir, I will.
Come on, step on it, will you, Ernie? Get me home. I'm off my nut.
Where do you live, buddy?
Talk on it, Ernie. Don't you start pulling that stuff on me. 323 Sycamore.
323 Sycamore.
Yeah, hurry up, Suzu's sick.
Okay, buddy.
Look, Ernie, I don't know what's happening. I'm going crazy or something. I've got some bad liquor, Now look, tell me this now. You're Ernie Bishop, right? You live with your wife and kids down...
You seen my wife?
What do you mean, seen your wife? I've been in your house 100 times. We built it for you, didn't we?
But my wife took the kid and ran away 5 years ago, and I ain't never seen you before in my life, see?
Okay, Ernie, okay. Just step on it. Get me home. Mary! Mary! Where are you? Cheney! Petey! Suzu! Suzu! Where are you?
This is just an old abandoned house, George. You have no wife, no children.
Where are they? What have you done to them?
There you are, Bert. That's him, see? I told ya!
All right. Up with your hands.
Oh, Bert, the cop! Thank heaven you're here.
Now, look. Why don't you be a good fella, and I'll take you to see a doctor.
Bert, listen to me. What's the matter with you guys? Listen, it's that fellow there. He says he's an angel. He tried to hypnotize me.
I hate to use my nightstick, but I guess I... Ow!
Run, George!
Ow!
He can't hit you while I'm fighting him. My teeth aren't what they used to be. Joseph, help! Joseph!
Where'd they go, Ernie? Where'd they go?
I don't know. They just disappeared.
Mom Bailey's boarding house.
Well?
Mother!
Mother? What do you want?
Mother? This is George.
George.
Sure you remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Mother, please, try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please, let me stay here.
I don't take strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
No, you know him?
Well, sure I do.
When'd you see him last?
Today, over at the house.
It's a lie. He's been in an insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
I'm here again, George.
My own mother didn't know me. If only Harry were here. If only my brother were back from washing.
Your brother fell through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. That's a lie! He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of all the men on the transport.
Every man on that transport died. Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. Don't you see, George? You really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake would be to throw it away?
Harry?
Yes?
Where's Mary? Please. Where's... Tell me where she is.
You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she? Oh, shit. choke it out of you if I have to. Where's my wife?
The library. She works there. She's just about to lock up for the night, so George, come back! Come back! Oh, there must be an easier way to get my wings.
Mary! Mary!
I'm sorry, the library's closed.
Mary! It's George. Don't you know me?
No, I don't know you. Let me go!
Please, don't do this to me. Mary, please! Help me! Help me! Where are our kids, Mary? I need you! Mary, please!
Get away from me! Help! Help!
Help me! Mary! I'm George! Ah! Mary!
Clarence?
Oh, where is he, Joseph? Where's George? I'm afraid I've lost him, sir.
You knew you shouldn't have let him try to see Mary. Now they're after him. A mob. They think he was trying to hurt her.
Joseph, I won't even get one wing, will I?
You have one more chance, Clarence. Get over to the bridge by the river. I think George has seen just about enough.
But the mob?
Don't worry. They've lost him too. Now hurry up.
Oh, thank you, Joseph, thank you.
Clarence! Clarence! Clarence, where are you?
I'm here, George.
Help me, Clarence. Please, get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids. Please. I want to live again.
Oh, thank you, George. Thank you, Lord.
To live again, please. Oh God, please. Please let me live again!
George? Is that you down there, George?
Now get out of here, Bert. Get out of here. You come any closer and I'll let you have it.
Well, what the Sam Hill you yelling for, George?
Come on! George? Bird? Do you know me?
Know you? I've been looking all over town for you. Where you been?
Bert! Bert! I'm alive again, Bert!
Yeah, but you're sure you're all right? Hey, your mouth's bleeding.
Is it? My mouth is bleeding. Bert, look at the blood come out of there, would you? Where's this Christmas bell, Bert? I had it right in my pocket. Here it is. It's in my pocket. What do you know about that? Merry Christmas, Bert!
Well, Merry Christmas. Get in the car. I'll drive you home.
You will, Bert? Well, do that. And turn the siren wide open, huh? Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Hey! Merry Christmas, old building alone! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter! Ha ha! Come on, Bert. Come on with me, huh? Come on in. What's with all these people? Are these reporters? What? Merry Christmas, reporters! Hey, Mr. Bank Examiner! Merry Christmas!
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000, I bet, huh?
George, I've got a little paper here. I'm sorry.
I'll bet it's a warrant for my arrest, isn't it wonderful? Merry Christmas. Hey, where's Mary, you know?
Merry Christmas, Daddy! Merry Christmas!
Look at this wonderful old drafty house. And kids, Janie, Petey. Oh, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you, Daddy, with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
My little ginger snack. How do you feel, huh?
Fine, Daddy. Not a smidge of temperature.
A smidge of temper.
George! George!
You're real, Mary. You have no idea what happened to me.
You've no idea what's happened to either. They're on their way here.
Who's on their way? Oh, well, it's the police department. I don't. The FBI, National Guard. I'm alive again, Mary. Listen, Mary, I'm alive again.
Yes, darling. Now close your eyes and come on downstairs.
What is it? Can I open my eyes yet, Mary? What's going on here?
Now keep your eyes closed. Now I'll just walk you over to the Christmas tree and...
Well, people. I hear lots of people. What is it?
Just 1 minute now. We are ready, Uncle Billy. Come in, everybody.
Hooray! Look, just look.
Uncle Billy!
Money, George. A laundry basket full of money. Money for you. Mary did it, George. Mary.
I don't understand. What money?
People heard you were in trouble, darling. These people, your friends. They've collected the money for you. The $8,000.
Johnny. Wait! There's Martini. And Mr. Gower. How are you, Mr. Gower? Mrs. Thompson. Ed. Tom. Everybody!
None of us would have a roof over our heads if it wasn't for you, George.
Gosh, this is wonderful. Hey, Mary, look. Look who's coming in. Mother. Hi, Mother! And Harry!
Got Mary's telegram, George. I flew in as fast as I could. Hey, everybody, a toast. How about a toast? Good idea, Ernie. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Hooray! Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind.
Daddy, my Christmas bell. You didn't forget?
Here, honey. Here's your bill.
Daddy, what's that on the table here? What's this book?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Well, look, there's something written in it.
Dear George, remember,
No man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings.
Clarence?
Yeah, he's a very dear friend of mine.
Daddy, Mrs. Welsh says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right, Suzu, that's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence. Happy landings.
The kind of kindness yet for the sake of all mankind.
So long as we can have such fine performances as we enjoyed tonight. From Mr. Yurkovich. here's the cast performing Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Accompanied, of course, by Florian Eisentraut on the piano.
Oh, the weather outside is frightening. The fire inside is like hell. Simply no place to go.